All right, so anytime I start out the day looking for walleye in the Columbia, I'm actually looking for a specific drift speed. So I always just kill the motor. I'm looking for that 1 to 1.2 mile an hour drift. I may end up going out quite deep trying to find the spot where these fish are. I've also got a little bit of wind, which is making this a little more challenging. But I can also use the motor to compensate for that. Normally I use a PDL drive for this, but I wanted to see how the autopilot would do today. PDL is a little easier, I think, because you can just throttle up and down to keep your line straight up and down while you're vertically jigging. We're doing 0.9, it's a little slow. Just tapping it along the bottom, less is more. Not jigging for lingcod here. That's why I like a medium light rod. I can really feel that bite. 10-pound braided line. Not quite vertical here. I'm gonna push this back so we get a little more vertical. Another bite. Probably sculpin. Dang it. Definitely getting bit, but don't think it's the fish we're after. There he is. There he is. So let's sit down there. Well, maybe they were walleye just pecking at it. Yeah, it's a very nice walleye, actually. Perfect eater size. Here we go, first one of the day. Nice. I'll take that. First drift. Go ahead and mark this spot with a GPS. Alright, so that was on a VMC Moon Eye jig. That's a perfect eater walleye right there. With a night crawler. Great looking fish, check that out. Alright, that's the first one in the box. Just need a few more. I can't see anything on the graph, that's just crazy. But that's just how it goes with these walleye. They sit so hard to the bottom. I'm gonna do just a little bit longer drift since this is just the first drift. See if we can find any more. Pull up and go back up to the top of this drift. Do another drift through there, see if we can get another fish on night crawler. Then I'm gonna experiment with some other baits. Oh, look at that. Something did bite and took the rest of my night crawler. So, today I'm going to try a couple other artificial baits. I'm going to try gulp night crawlers. I have a lot of confidence in real night crawlers, as you can tell. First drift I got a fish. And then I've also heard that these Dream Shot KVD watermelon red flake, these are basically bass drop shot plastics with coffee scent and salt, also are supposed to work well for walleye. I don't know if that's just crazy or hearsay. I heard it from several people when I was working in retail and the fishing department, so I'm just curious to see if that actually works. So we'll go back up and re-rig for another drift. At least the nice thing with the autopilot is it's pretty easy to go back upstream. So I will typically fish a full night crawler on these jigs. I'm fishing a 1/2 ounce jig today. I'll just ball that whole thing up on there. Lots of meat, something to grab onto for them. There's a little worm keeper on there, and then I just snake a lot of the worm up on there. I have a pretty good amount sticking off the back. That might result in more short strikes, but I find that I get more hits with that tail hovering out behind there. So when setting up these drifts on these walleye, I actually overshoot the areas where I know the walleye are holding, so that I can get my drift under control before I hit that prime area where I'm getting bit. And that prime area is going to change by day. It's actually going to change by the minute, because as they release more water from these dams, the current's going to change. The locations of these fish is going to shift throughout the day, and I'm going to have to be constantly chasing those fish, trying to find the ideal drift speed and drift location. Like I said, I'm always chasing that sort of 1 to 1.2 mile an hour drift. So sometimes I'm pulling fish out of 30 foot of water because they've got a lot of water dumping over the dam. Sometimes I'm fishing 110 foot of water because it's very stagnant and slow, and those fish spread out looking for food. At least I hypothesize they're looking for food coming down on the edge of these current seams. Okay. I'm going to rotate the Minn Kota head back a little bit. Now, in these current, you cannot use cruise control because it gets so confused, because it wants to maintain cruise control going forward, but then there's current, and it just gets really weird. So I'm going to look at the angle on my line. You can see the line's going back, so I'm going to increase the speed on the trolling motor head that I have now in reverse until I get a nice vertical presentation. I need to be able to detect when I'm hitting the bottom in 95 foot of water, and I'm working my way up out of this deep hole to a 60 foot flat. Coming up this ledge, got a little bit more of an angle I want on my line, so I've turned on the prop, try and straighten out my lines a little bit more vertical. We have a good drift speed though, about 1.2. It's kind of what we're looking for. A little deeper than I was last time. No bites yet, like I was getting bit a lot last time. I mean, 5 or 6 feet can make a huge difference here in this fishery. Ooh, there's a bite. Just a nibble. Come on, chase it. Ooh, that was a bite and I missed it. He chewing on it and I missed it. I don't know if I have any bait left, and that is the disadvantage of real worms. They're a lot easier to strip off, so I'm gonna be really curious to see if I can get anything on fake worms today. Of course, you don't have to refrigerate fake worms either, which is very nice. Nice cobble down there, I can feel it. There it is, felt that one. That was a good, oh, he's off, mother. That sucks. Now let's check it. Check the bait. It's right in the same spot I got bit last time. I don't know if I don't have enough worm to get back down there. Alright, let's get back down there and try it again. See if they're still there. Sometimes there's usually a little school there. You can get on them. Man, that was a good hit. I lost it. There we go. I'm not sure we're going to get another shot at them or not. We'll keep drifting just for a little bit. At least I know where they're at. Oh, there was a bite. Didn't feel very big, but it was a bite nonetheless. There it is. I felt that bite, and then he came back to it. Ooh, this is going to be a heavy fish. Might be a nice one. I'm only running 8-pound fluorocarbon leaders, so I tend to go gentle on them. Ooh. 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 This might be a very nice fish. Got him up 20 feet underneath the kayak here. We can see him yet. Oh yeah, that's a biggie. That's a nice fish. Wow. Gorgeous. Whew. There you guys go. Look at that fish. Really pretty. Nice fish though. Probably 4 or 5 pounds. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Hey, 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 hey. I'm gonna let you go. Whoa. There you go. Look at that fish. That's a nice one. Gorgeous fish. This fish is definitely over 20 inches, so I'm gonna turn it back. All right, sweetie, it's your time to go. There you go, see you later. Beautiful fish. I'm always happy to catch a big walleye. All right, let's go find some more fish. I'm gonna switch out now to the gulp worm and see if that does better. Or at least as good. Seems like as long as I can get on that right drift, I'm getting bit, so. Go ahead and set up. It's funny how you'll feel them bite, miss, and then they come back and hit it again. I'm telling you, boat control is so important in this fishery. It's more important than anything else. Without good boat control, you just can't get the right presentation. Especially fishing jigs. The bite is just very subtle. It can very easily be mistaken for a rock or a small fish. Okay. So we're gonna use gulp killer crawler 3-inch. So it's gonna be a little bit shorter, but I should be able to thread it straight on. Moon eye jig with gulp night crawler. And there we go. Looks good. Looks like a chunk of night crawler on there. Let's see if they bite it like it's a chunk of night crawler. We're right in the zone where I got bit last time. But I haven't been touched on the gulp yet. A lot of people swear by the gulp. I've tried it before and I've not had a ton of success, but I'm gonna give it a fair shot here. I'm gonna give it a couple drifts. Boy, nothing. Not a bite on the gulp. We'll give it 3 drifts. Alright, we got our KVD Dream Shot Watermelon Red Flake Drop Shot lure here. Coffee scented. See if maybe coffee will get them going. A little wake up. These walleye. Time to get up. Get back to feeding. Alright, so there's that KVD Dream Shot Watermelon Red Flake. It looks good with that big wiggly tail off the end. Watermelon Red Flake is supposed to be their favorite color. That's what I've been told anyways. I guess we'll find out. So far, only worms produced any bites and any fish. Alright, that's one drift with no bites on the Dream Shot. We are right where I've been getting bit with the worm every time. And I'm getting nothing. Oh no, that was a rock. Dang it. Thought I had a fish. Jammed under a rock. Felt that pressure. I was like, oh, finally a bite. No bites on the Dream Shot. Pretty clear to me that plastics are not doing it. That real worms can't be beat. A lot of people swear by plastics for walleye, but a lot of those people aren't fishing where I'm fishing. Well, it's a pretty slow morning. Probably had like a half dozen to 8 bites. And only 2 of those I converted to fish. I tried alternating up to those gulp worms and the drop shot plastics, and I never even got a single bump on those. And I'm still getting the occasional grab on the night crawler here, although it's been pretty infrequent, only maybe one every other drift. The wind's getting pretty bad though, and I'm having a really hard time, even with the autopilot, maintaining that vertical drift. So probably gonna be my last drift here, but just proves to me that worms are where it's at as a confidence lure for jigging for walleye. All right, I'll see you guys next time out on the water. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye guys.